Here's why you play Yu Zhong, the Black Dragon in the EXP lane. First of all, he has insane sustain thanks to his passive, which lets him heal while dealing damage. His combo potential is deadly, especially in team fights where his skills can deal massive AoE damage and disrupt enemy formations. Yu Zhong also has amazing mobility and can dash or fly through the battlefield, making it easy to dive to the backline. On top of that, his ultimate grants him crowd control immunity and high survivability while knocking enemies around. However, Yu Zhong requires good timing with his skills and can be outplayed by mobile heroes if he misses his combos. Yu Zhong's passive, Cursing Touch, allows him to apply shard residue each time he deals damage to enemy heroes. When a target gets 5 stacks, the residue erupts and starts consuming 1 stack at a time, dealing damage and healing Yu Zhong for a portion of his lost HP. When it erupts, Yu Zhong also gains bonus movement speed for a few seconds. This passive helps Yu Zhong stay in fights longer and make his sustained damage even more dangerous. Yu Zhong's first skill, Dragon Tail, empowers his cloak, which strikes surrounding enemies after a brief delay. Enemies hit in the outer edge take significantly more damage and receive 2 stacks of shard residue. This is his main poke and wave clear tool, and hitting enemies with the outer edge is key to maximizing damage and applying stacks quickly. Yu Zhong's second skill, Soul Grip, releases a dragon soul in front of him, damaging and heavily slowing all enemies' hits. If it connects, his next basic attack is enhanced and deals extra damage, applying multiple shard residue stacks if it hits multiple enemies. This skill is useful for initiating combos, slowing enemies, and quickly building up stacks for his passive. Yu Zhong's third skill, Furious Dive, leaps toward a target area, dealing damage on impact. He can dash again in a direction after a brief delay. Enemies within the area are knocked airborne and take additional damage. This skill allows Yu Zhong to chase enemies, engage or disengage fights, and control team fights with a short knockup. Yu Zhong's ultimate, Black Dragon form, channels briefly before transforming into the Black Dragon. In this form, he becomes immune to crowd control, gains bonus HP, and can fly through terrain while damaging and knocking back enemies. After the form ends, he enters Dragonoid form, increasing the range of all his skills for a short time. This transformation is excellent for disrupting enemy formations and diving backline targets without being interrupted. A typical sweet combo for Yu Zhong is to start with his ultimate and charge into the enemy team to knock them around. Once you enter Dragonoid form, use your second skill to slow enemies, followed by a third skill to dash in and knock up your target. Finish with your first skill to do massive AoE damage, and follow up with your basic attacks from your second skill to finish the job. Moving on to builds, I usually build Warrior Boots, War Axe, Hunter Strike, Dominance Eyes, Brute Force Chestplate, and finally Queen's Wings. These are the emblems that go along with this build. As for battle spells, the best battle spells for Yu Zhong in my opinion is Flicker, Petrify, Execute, or Vengeance. Flicker is for repositioning in fights or escaping, Petrify is great when used right after your third skill or in Dragonoid form to lock enemies in place, Execute helps burst down tanky heroes and ignore their defenses, and Vengeance is ideal if you're building tanky and initiating team fights often, especially when paired with your ultimate. Yu Zhong excels at squishy fighters like Elus and Zilong who struggle to deal with the sustained and early game pressure. However, he struggles against ranged marksmen like Leslie and Carrie, as these heroes can kite him easily and force him to waste his skills trying to close the gap, making it hard for him to survive or deal consistent damage. On the flip side, Yu Zhong pairs well with control heavy mages like Vexana and Savior, who can lock enemies down long enough for him to land his full combo. You should unlock your first skill at level 1 for wave clear and poke, prioritize maxing the first skill followed by the third skill, and upgrade your second skill last. Always level up your ultimate whenever it's available. Yu Zhong is a lane bully, so take advantage of his strong early game by pressuring your opponents and keeping the wave under control. Always aim to hit enemies with the outer part of your first skill to apply more shard residue and maximize damage. In team fights, your job is to dive into the backline with your ultimate and disrupt the damage dealers. Use the Dragonoid form's skill range boost to land your combo safely. Don't forget that your second skill not only slows but also empowers your next basic attack. Use it wisely to finish off enemies or apply burst damage. If you're struggling to survive long fights, build more sustained items and time your passive eruption for healing at the right moment. More importantly, don't rush your combo. Wait for the right opening, especially after enemy crowd control skills are used, as Yu Zhong is at his best when he's calculated, not reckless.